Greetings, everyone. This is Wells Fargo's criminal activity hearing in Washington, D.C. court with a judge called Dana Dyson. Please listen to it.
I denied the motion for the investigation. I issued that order a couple weeks ago. Let me ask first how Wells Fargo is asking to proceed.
Your Honor, at this point, we have a judgment. We have a moratorium that's set to expire on the 30th of September as of now. We're planning to set a sale date once the moratorium is over.
Okay. All right. I thought, did the couple just extend the moratorium, or am I?
I'm not aware of that. It was last extended to the 30th of September.
Okay.
And if they apply for half, it's then extended even further until the half application is completed. But
Okay.
that's my understanding of the current status.
All right. That's it. I just want to make sure that there isn't something that I missed here. All right, so what next court date do we need, or what do you anticipate with regard to the sale?
I would anticipate us getting a sale date. We're going to be setting a lot of sale dates once the moratorium is over. And so I think it's going to be 60 days probably before we can actually have a sale. Then we would file a motion with the results of the sale and ask the court to ratify the sale. So I think it makes sense to set this one more than 90 days so that motion's right.
Okay. All right, Ms. Begaya, do you have any questions about what's being requested today?
Yes, Your Honor. My motion was all about payment, to pay my debt with the right amount, requesting investigation and audit in order to know what exactly my debt is, because I didn't agree with the amount. In other words, I'm disagreeing with the deliberation because it has nothing to do with my motion requesting investigation and audit. And that is, if I may, that is totally against the Constitution rule in order to protect Wells Fargo. With no fault of my own, I've been denied my constitutional rights. I've been denied to ask how much to pay. In other words, the court is saying it's just none of your business. Whatever Wells Fargo asks, that's what you're going to pay. You don't need to know how much exactly you owe is what I feel the deliberation is all about. The Constitution law has been broken here. My right has been broken. And Wells Fargo is highly protected. If investigation and audits come to say or to find out how much I owe, in the process, we all know Wells Fargo's crime is going to come out. And that's what the court is protecting. And that's why I feel let down as a citizen of this country. It's a total protection of Wells Fargo's crime. I am not guilty. I have been saying that. There is no proof to call me guilty. What is my guilty? It is my constitutional right to know how much I owe. That's been denied. The problem is I'm requesting investigation auditing, and that's what the judge is against, because in the process of investigation, Wells Fargo's crime is going to come out. That's what is protected. I'm against the deliberation against me. It's unconstitutional and it is biased. So I'm requesting, hopefully, another motion to explain if you want me to. But this deliberation is wrong. It's based on the history of the case, not based on my request, on my motion. It has no relationship at all. My motion is to pay, and the deliberation is reading the past history. I don't get it. And that is against the Constitution. To help the criminal against the innocent. Wells Fargo is a popular criminal bank, and the court is denying. They're protecting Wells Fargo's criminality, saying they don't commit a crime. The whole world knows this is a criminal bank. What is my crime? In the Constitution, it says nobody is guilty until proven guilty. What is my guilt, Your Honor? What is my guilt? What is the proof for the court to say I'm guilty? What is it? All I want is accountability. That's all my request was, accountability. And that's been denied, and it is against my constitutional right. Thank you, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Agaya, this is not a criminal case, so there is no adjudication of guilt or innocence. This is a civil case. I understand that you had requested a motion for an investigation, notwithstanding the objections of Wells Fargo and notwithstanding the history of this case where this has been litigated. I did give you an opportunity to file such a motion. I considered the motion and I have denied it. And therefore, there's no, I don't see any basis for a further motion, given the fact that it is what was raised at the last hearing, and I gave you time to plead it, is exactly the same issues that have been raised both in the previous litigation as well as in the Court of Appeals, and that was the basis of my ruling. And so with respect to this matter, I will set a status date. Give me just a moment so I can find it.
May I also ask more time to sell everything I have, including my jewelry, to pay whatever Wells Fargo wants and whatever the court wants me to give to Wells Fargo? Can I be given 6 months to sell everything I have? Because I want to keep my retirement home for myself. I hope that's not going to be denied as well, because I need time.
Mr. Gayer, there's no basis for me to grant any further extension. That certainly does not preclude you from reaching out to Wells Fargo to try to engage in any sort of discussion about redemption before the sale. But I don't see a legal basis to do so. Mr. Cohen, I'm assuming that Wells Fargo, if they were paid what they were owed, would be open to doing that.
Right, and Mr. Gay is welcome to contact them for a reinstatement quote or payoff quote at any time before the sale date. I think it's 5 days before the sale date.
Okay. So, Mr. Gay, that's the amount of, that's the time, and you can, Mr. Cohen, do you know specifically who Ms. Gay would need to reach out to?
Well, if she reaches out to me, I can either get the quote for her or put her into the right place. So, Ms. Gay, if you want to write down my email. I have the email. You and I know you are under investigation as we speak. You know who is investigating you, because this is not a civil case. It is treated as a civil case because the court thinks it's the money matter,
But crime has been committed. It is a criminal case, even though it is treated as a civil case, and you are under investigation. The government and the individual entities are investigating this matter. All I am interested is if I can be given more time to sell my home to pay the money you never gave me. You never gave me. And you know it, and there is no proof you gave me $250,000. You gave it to somebody else, and you are holding me liable to pay. This is a criminal case. It's a fraud case. I have said it all along. So you know you are under investigation as we speak. So, but in terms of this hearing right now, I would like to get more time to pay whatever if it reaches to that point. But this is the United States of America. Justice should be equal for everybody. I don't think I am given my share of constitution right. My right has been stripped because of the criminal Wells Fargo have taken my money and then asking me to pay. And no proof for Wells Fargo to give to this court or to anybody else that they have given me money. I have not taken any money.
That matter has already been.
Yeah, right.
That matter has already been litigated, as I set forth in the order, and that was set forth in the Court of Appeals decision on this matter. This case has been litigated with respect to that. So, as I indicated, this case has been pending since 2015. I do not believe that there is a basis at this point there isn't a basis to extend this any longer. I will say, obviously, Mr. Cohen, with respect to the moratorium, obviously, if there is a extension of the moratorium, that may affect the timing of the sale. But at this point, or if Ms. Segea applies for the funding that you've indicated, that may affect the timing of the sale. But at this point, I don't see a legal basis to delay the timing of the sale any further. All right, so let's set a date. I'm looking at the date. 60 days out would be 60 days.
I think it makes sense to set it a little farther out than that.
I agree. 90 days out. 90 days out takes us into December. The only issue is that the December date that I have for Friday is fairly full. For the 16th. And then I'm on leave until the beginning of January. So what I would suggest is that we set this down for January 6th.
January 6th. Okay.
January 6th at 9:30.
That works for me, Donna. Thank you.
All right, so January 6th at 9:30. Anything further today from Mr. Cohen?
Nothing further.
Anything further today, Mr. Gaya?
They're giving me 90 days, and they on January 6th, like I said, I'm not a lawyer. That is for what? Can you elaborate for me, please?
Sure. So that's going to be for a status. That's not the date of the sale. The date of the sale, there is a moratorium in place until September 30th. Anytime after September 30th, the sale can be set. You can negotiate with Wells Fargo and speak with them, and you can pay them back, basically, and come back into compliance anytime up to 5 days before the sale. There's not a date yet set for the sale. They do have to give you notice of when the sale will be, but it's not going to be on January 6th. It would be sometime before January 6th. January 6th is simply a status date to see where we are at that point. Once the sale goes through, they would be moving to ratify the sale, which I would deal with either before or on the 6th. assuming that the sale has gone through and the motion has been filed. But that is not the deadline for the payment, because the deadline for the payment, I believe, is anytime up to 5 days before the sale, and the sale date has not been set because the moratorium doesn't lift until September 30th.
So the sale date is when?
We don't have a sale date yet.
We don't
notice of it when we have it.
Right. There is not a sale date that has been set yet because the moratorium is still in place. The moratorium lifts on September 30th. But the sale date may be set at any time after September 30th.
Okay, it's clear now.
Then you will get a notice from Wells Fargo, not from the court, but from Wells Fargo, that tells you when the sale date is. As far as the time to make your payment off in order to prevent the sale, that's any time up to 5 days before the sale, I think is what Mr. Cohen said. You should contact Mr. Cohen, Ms. Agaya, about any questions about who you would contact to get your payoff amount, all of that. You should contact him. Okay?
Your Honor, at this point, like I said, I have other entities to contact them, and this is under investigation, and we need to be aware this case is not over. It's not over.
I don't have anything else before me, Mrs. Agaya.
Yeah.
I don't have any other motions or anything else before me. I don't see the basis for I don't see anything else that needs to be resolved at this issue.
It's not going to involve the court. You already told me you're not going to accept any more motion from me, and everything on this at this point in terms of the court, it's done. It's just a matter of handing out my retirement home fraudulently, illegally, and criminally. This is for the record. I'm done.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor. Bye.
Bye.
No, it's just your self-attacking.
Yeah. somebody ያደርገዋል
ለመሰለሽ
የታባታቸው
ለመሰለሽ አስቦካሻቸው
የሰሩት ስራ
አሰማ አይነግረሻቸው
እደ
ደስ ያለኝ ለምንድን ነው መሰለሽ አፋቸውን ያታሽ ጀጇም አፋን ተከታለች ብዬ ነበር
ምን አባቷ ብላ የሰራችውን ክራይ አሁን የቀረኝ this is going to be viral for the whole world to know what ብዬ ማለት ፈልጌ ነበር ኦቨር እንትን ይሆናል የተውኩት
ማስተራራት ይሆናል ለመሰለሽ አሁን እዚህ ጋር እኔ ይሄ የሴል ዴቱ ቢሆን ኖሮ ጃንዋሪ እንደምንም ከየትም ብለን ከፍሎ አሁን እነሱ ማጣደፍ ነው የሚፈልጉት የሁሉ it's in my favor ለምን ብለህ በላይ ቻነል 7 ኢንቨስቲጌት አድርጎ ክሪሚናሊ እነኚህ ሰዎች ሆልድ ከተደረጉ they almost sold her home they know to that point what they have done to this lady ብሎ ማለት ይቻላል እኔ ደግሞ አውጥሩ እሱ ያ እንዳለ
አሁን እኮ የቀረችኝ 15 ቀን ናት
15 ቀን ነው ከዛ በኋላ መቼ እንደሚያደርጉ አንድ ወር ሊሆን ይችላል 2 ወር የሴል ዴቱን
አላውቅም እንግዲህ within 15 days ያሳውቁኛል መቼ እንደሚነው አሁን ይሄንን በሙሉ አስተላልፋለሁ ለእንትኑ
እኔ ደግሞ መመሰለሽ የሰውየው ከሆነ የሚባለውን ስልክ ብታገኙ አሁን እሱን እንደዚህ ከማስፈራራቱ